Good morning. I hereby call to order this 14th meeting of the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission for the year 2023. Welcome to everyone here with us in the room today and who are watching on the live stream. At today's meeting, which is open to the public, the Commission will act on various matters. There is no opportunity for the public to address the Commission at this public meeting. The public meeting motions, statements, and video will be available on the Commission's website later today. The first matter on this morning's agenda are the approval of the minutes of the meeting of October 19th, 2023. I would like to recognize Vice Chair Barrow as the editor of the minutes.
Thank you. I have reviewed the minutes of the October 19th, 2023 public meeting, and I move that they be approved as submitted.
You've heard the motion by Vice Chair Barrow. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Yonora. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve the minutes say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved by a vote of 5-0. Madam Secretary, we are ready for your presentation.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Commissioners. Your various bureaus and offices have prepared the following agenda items for your consideration. Therefore, let us begin with matters presented by Director Monahan and the Bureau of Audits. It should be noted that the Management and Operations Audit Report and Implementation Plan of the Pennsylvania American Water Company has been postponed until the public meeting of December 21, 2023. Turning to page 2, it is recommended by the Bureau of Consumer Services that the Commission adopt the proposed order regarding the petition filed by the PECO Energy Company to amend its Universal Service and Energy Conservation Plan.
Is there a motion to adopt the proposed order?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Vice Chair Barrow, seconded by Commissioner Coleman. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it by a vote of 5-0. Madam Secretary.
Turning to page 3, and matters presented by Executive Director Barrier and the Office of Executive Director. It should be noted that the first item on page 3 regarding appointments to the Damage Prevention Committee has been withdrawn by the Executive Director. Continuing on page 3, it is recommended that the Commission ratify the appointment of Kimberly Hafner to the permanent position of Director of the Office of Special Assistance.
Is there a motion to ratify the appointment?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Vice Chair Barrow, seconded by Commissioner Zerfus. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Passes by a vote of 5-0. Madam Secretary.
Turning to page 4, in matters presented by Director Hafner and the Office of Special Assistance, it is recommended that the Commission adopt the proposed opinion and order in the informal investigation of the Bureau of Investigation and Enforcement versus Columbia Gas of Pennsylvania.
Is there a motion to adopt the opinion and order?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Zerfus, seconded by Vice Chair Barrow. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it by a vote of 5-0. Madam Secretary.
Turning to page 5, it is recommended that consistent with 4 PA Code, Section 1.43C, the notational vote of the Commission's action on November 16th, 2023, regarding the petition for reconsideration filed in the formal complaint of Cunningham Township versus the Sanitary Sewer Authority of the Borough of Shikshini, be recorded and entered in the minutes of this public meeting.
Is there a motion to record the notational vote?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Coleman, seconded by Commissioner Yonora. Any discussion? I do have a statement I would like to enter into the record. Before joining my staff as legal counsel, Stephanie Weimer was employed in the Commission's Bureau of Investigation and Enforcement and worked on this case. Please note she has not advised me in this matter. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it by a vote of 5-0. Madam Secretary.
Continuing on page 5, it is recommended that the commission adopt in an omnibus motion the remaining item on page 5, the formal complaint of Andrea Berardi versus Comcast Phone of Pennsylvania and Verizon Pennsylvania LLC, and continuing the omnibus to include both items on page 6 and both items on page 7, ending the omnibus with the petition for reconsideration filed by Granite Telecommunications LLC.
Is there a motion to approve the staff recommendations?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Yenora, seconded by Commissioner Coleman. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it by a vote of 5-0. Madam Secretary.
Turning to page 8, it is recommended that the commission adopt the proposed opinion and order in the informal investigation of the Bureau of Investigation and Enforcement versus the Duquesne Light Company.
Is there a motion to adopt the opinion and order?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Zerfus, seconded by Vice Chair Barrow. Any discussion?
Chairman, I do have a statement.
Vice Chair Barrow.
Prior to joining my staff, Lori Moore was employed in the Bureau of Consumer Services and worked on this investigation. She has not advised me in this matter.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it by a vote of 5-0. Madam Secretary.
Continuing on page 8, it is recommended that the commission adopt in an omnibus motion the remaining item on page 8, the application filed by Columbia Gas of Pennsylvania, and continuing the omnibus to include both items on page 9 and both items on page 10, ending the omnibus with the application of Jimenez LLC.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendations?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Coleman, seconded by Vice Chair Barrow. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it by a vote of 5-0. Madam Secretary.
Turning to page 11 and matters presented by Director Diskin and the Bureau of Technical Utility Services, it is recommended that the commission adopt in an omnibus motion both items on page 11, beginning with the application filed by PennDOT, and continuing the omnibus to include both items on page 12, both items on page 13, and including the single item at the top of page 14, ending the omnibus with the tariff supplement filed by the Nant Meal Warwick Sewer Company.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendations?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Zerfus, seconded by Commissioner Yenora. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it by a vote of 5-0. Madam Secretary.
Turning to page 15 and matters presented by Chief Counsel Screven and the Law Bureau, it is recommended in an omnibus motion that the commission adopt both items on page 15, beginning with the annual administrator's report regarding the Pennsylvania Universal Service Fund annual rate adjustment, and ending the omnibus with the amended bylaws for the Damage Prevention Committee.
Is there a motion to adopt the proposed orders?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Vice Chair Barrow, seconded by Commissioner Coleman. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it by a vote of 5-0. Madam Secretary.
Turning to page 16, it should be noted that both items on page 16, the policy statement on public and private fire protection and the petition for declaratory order filed by the Pennsylvania American Water Company, have been postponed until the public meeting of December 21, 2023. Turning to page 17 and matters presented by Chief A.L.J. Rainey and the Office of Administrative Law Judge. It is recommended that the commission adopt the recommended decision on remand by A.L.J. Gould and A.L.J. Collins regarding the petition filed by the Pennsylvania American Water Company for approval of an arrearage management plan.
Is there a motion to adopt the recommended decision?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Coleman, seconded by Commissioner Yenora. Any discussion?
Chairman, I do have a statement.
Vice Chair Barrow.
I'd like to thank the parties to the settlement for their work to resolve the concerns about income verification methods and point out that almost all of the electric and gas utilities with universal service plans use a common zero-income form. This form was developed by stakeholders at a universal service work group meeting in 2018, and I recommend it to Pennsylvania American Water for use as a best practice. Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Chairman, I also want to commend the parties on this income verification recertification process, and it does bring it in line, as Vice Chairman Barrow has indicated, and I believe it is in the public interest. So thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it by a vote of 5-0. Madam Secretary.
Continuing on page 17, it is recommended that the Commission adopt the initial decision of ALJ DeVoe in the formal complaint of Tracy Smith versus the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority.
Is there a motion to adopt the initial decision?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Unora, seconded by Vice Chair Barrow. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it by a vote of 5-0. Madam Secretary.
Turning to page 18, it is recommended that the Commission adopt the recommended decision of ALJ Johnson and ALJ DeVoe in the joint application for the merger of the Metropolitan Edison Company, the Pennsylvania Electric Company, the Pennsylvania Power Company, the West Penn Power Company, the Keystone Appalachian Transmission Company, Mid-Atlantic Interstate Transmission, LLC, and the First Energy Pennsylvania Electric Company.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Coleman, seconded by Commissioner Zerfus. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I have a statement.
Vice Chair Barrow.
Madam Secretary, I would like the statement entered into the record as if read in its entirety. Today, I address the merger of the 4 First Energy electric utilities in Pennsylvania into a single entity, First Energy Pennsylvania. Before us for consideration is a joint petition for approval of settlement of 7 settling parties and 4 non-opposing parties. I thank the parties for their work in this proceeding. It's going to restructure the existing First Energy utilities and create the single largest electric utility in the state, serving about 1/3 of Pennsylvania's electric load. Although on balance, many of the provisions of the joint petition may be in the public interest, 3 items give me pause. First, the potential for First Energy to move its customer service call center out of the state after 5 years. Second, the lack of a rate case stay out. And finally, a need for more granular reporting rules. So as the settlement currently reads, First Energy commits to retaining its customer service call center in Pennsylvania for 5 years. After that, First Energy only commits to taking steps to ensure a Pennsylvania-focused presence in Pennsylvania, I guess. So that is of concern to me. This is a really large presence in PA. I feel as though their customer service center should also be in Pennsylvania. According to a transaction survey provided by the Bureau of Consumer Services of First Energy's residential and small business customers surveyed in 2022, I won't go through all of the stats, but let's just say that customer service could use some improvement. In past mergers, the Commission has highlighted that customer service representatives located in Pennsylvania results in a public benefit to Pennsylvania's customers. This principle has been enforced through Commission order numerous times. I believe that we were correct in those cases, and I continue to believe that the best method to ensure the representation of a Pennsylvania-focused presence and awareness and to improve the customer service statistics is to continue to operate a call center in Pennsylvania. And also, of course, to prioritize efforts to train the customer service professionals based here. The staff of the call center, in my opinion, will work best when they understand the Pennsylvania mandated customer service and billing requirements. They can focus on those things and the rights afforded to the customers of First Energy in Pennsylvania. It's also important that the customer service reps understand the lived experiences of electric customers in the state where they operate. In a typical corporate merger proceeding where you've got two utilities, there's a synergy savings that's realized by the consolidation of the two corporations. There's usually some job loss, some job relocation. This case is slightly different in that the majority of this merger involves four utilities, four distribution companies already physically located in Pennsylvania. I believe that the settling parties here missed a chance to secure a substantial affirmative benefit for the Commonwealth as far as jobs and economic stability by not requiring that the call center currently located in Reading remain at least within Pennsylvania's borders. The next issue is rate case stay out. So when utilities reorganize as significantly as First Energy proposes to do here, the commission and the public should not expect that the utilities' cost will be smoothly continuous between pre and post-merger. A rate case stay out is typically used to embed the principle of gradualism so that ratepayers do not experience rate shock. In this settlement, that principle is ensured to some degree by the requirement that First Energy has to wait 3 rate cases or 10 years until there's a full unification of the distribution rate base. But a rate case stay out would also serve customers by building an evidentiary basis for the eventual rate case. I don't think that allowing a rate case just a few months after this merger is in the best interest of the customers. Finally, the combined First Energy will now be a massive utility. I mentioned earlier the combined First Energy will serve approximately 1/3 of Pennsylvania's electric load, but its geography is going to span about 3/4 of Pennsylvania's land area. That service territory is diverse. It ranges from rural areas, which cover the majority of this state, to more population-dense areas like Erie, Reading, and York. The combined First Energy is in all 4 corners of the state. I believe it would be appropriate and would have been appropriate for the settlement to include an agreed-upon, more granular geographic reporting requirement for First Energy's non-rate information. Things like interconnection reports, customer service reporting, annual transmission resource planning reports. This would assist the commission and the public in better understanding the factors behind each of the company's regional needs, their issues, and potential solutions. Thank you for bearing with me. That was a lot.
Thank you, Vice Chair Barrow.
You're welcome.
Any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Zerfas.
Madam Secretary, I'd like to associate myself with the comments from Vice Chair Barrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no.
I'm concurring in result only.
Great. The ayes have it by a vote of 5-0, noting Vice Chair Barrow concurring in result only. Madam Secretary.
And finally, on page 18, it is recommended that the commission adopt the recommended decision of ALJ Hoyer in the petition filed by the Pike County Light and Power Company for the approval of its default service plan.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Zerfus, seconded by Vice Chair Barrow. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it by a vote of 5-0. Madam Secretary.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes regular agenda. Turning now to the carry-in. On page 1 of the carry-in agenda, it is recommended by the Office of Special Assistance that the Commission adopt the proposed opinion and order regarding the various petitions filed in the base rate case of the Philadelphia Gas Works.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Coleman, seconded by Commissioner Yonora. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it by a vote of 5-0. Madam Secretary.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, that concludes all agenda items to be considered today.
Thank you. It's a quick meeting today, so you know that means the meeting on the 21st, you may want to pack a lunch. But before we close, I would like to wish a happy Hanukkah to those who begin celebrating this evening. If there's no other business to come before us, are there any objections to adjourning the meeting? Hearing none, we are adjourned.